Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. Have you ever noticed this specific phenomena? You have the same drink you might casually sip on a patio in July, say a glass of wine or a simple cocktail, and somehow it just feels fundamentally different in December. Warmer, maybe. Heavier, a lot more. Emotional. Maybe you're at a holiday party trying to manage the noise, the family stuff. You have one festive drink, and suddenly you feel really buzzed. You might get unexpectedly sentimental, or you feel kind of fragile. And then you wake up the next morning thinking, wait, why did that one drink hit me like an all-nighter? If that sounds familiar, let me tell you, you are not being dramatic. It's not your imagination. What you're feeling is this powerful biochemical cocktail I call winter chemistry. And the huge emotional engine of holiday nostalgia, well, it's basically throwing gasoline on the fire. Today we're going to take a close look at the mechanics behind this. We're breaking down exactly why the holidays seem to amplify the effects of alcohol. Physically, emotionally, psychologically. It's all about that collision point where memory, stress, and your brain chemistry all meet. The mission here is just to equip you with some knowledge. Because the crucial insight is this. Holiday drinking isn't just normal drinking with a Christmas tree in the background. It's happening in a profoundly different biological and emotional context. And that context, it changes everything. Alcohol feels stronger, your emotions feel heavier because your guard is down, and your physical tolerance just drops. So if holiday drinking consistently feels too hard or too fast for you, understand the mechanics of why this happens, that's what allows you to navigate those moments with some actual awareness. This whole amplified experience, the December buzz, it comes from a really unique collision. It's our deepest emotional triggers meeting some pretty dramatic physical changes in our bodies. So let's unpack the 5 core reasons nostalgia basically acts as a supercharger for your alcohol buzz. The first reason takes us right into your brain's architecture, the limbic system connection. So think of your brain as having like an emotional volume knob. In the middle of August, under normal conditions, that volume knob is maybe at a 3 or a 4. But the moment you walk into a room and you smell pine needles and cloves, and you hear that one Christmas song from your childhood, those things, the smells, the music, the memories, they activate your limbic system. And the limbic system, as you might know, is the emotional hub of your brain. It's the seat of memory and feeling. Now here's the kicker. Alcohol impacts that exact same region. So when your limbic system is already lit up, humming with memories, with sentimentality, or even, some deep-seated childhood stress, alcohol doesn't just tap into it, it compounds the effect exponentially. A drink you have while staring at the Christmas tree has so much more emotional space to work with than a random drink on a Tuesday. The volume is already at an 8, and alcohol just cranks it to 11. Okay, second, we have the stress hormone effect. December stress is pretty much universal, right? Whether it's navigating family dynamics, dealing with money pressure, or just that end of your burnout from work. All that pressure means you have high levels of the stress hormone cortisol just circulating. And what happens when alcohol meets cortisol? Well, when your body is already flooded with cortisol, your system is on high alert. Research shows that high chronic stress changes how your liver and your whole system process toxins. Your body sees alcohol as another stressor on an already burdened system. This is why that first holiday drink can hit you immediately and intensely. Your body's defenses were already overwhelmed before you even took the first sip. The third piece is a fascinating physical one. It's a combination of cold weather metabolism and hidden dehydration. So in colder months, your blood vessels constrict to keep your core warm. This means alcohol circulates differently and sometimes more intensely than it does in the summer. But more importantly, let's talk dehydration. Winter air, especially indoors with the heat on full blast, is incredibly dry. We don't really feel winter thirst the same way we do in the summer, but if your system is even a little bit dehydrated, your brain feels the effects of alcohol much, much faster. You're basically starting the night with a cognitive deficit. Okay, number 4 goes right back to that emotional engine. Nostalgia lowers your emotional guard. It doesn't matter if your holidays were magical or difficult. The act of reminiscing, of nostalgia, it just increases your overall emotional sensitivity. So you combine alcohol, which is a depressant and a disinhibitor. You combine that with this heightened emotional state, and you trigger bigger, sometimes really unexpected emotional swings. You might suddenly tear up over a commercial, or feel a huge wave of sadness, Or the opposite, just overwhelming joy that you can't quite manage. Alcohol just removes the filter. And because those old memory pathways are already so active, it amplifies whatever is already there. And finally, reason 5. This one is maybe the most obvious, but it's also the most impactful. Your routine completely collapses. I mean, just think about it. Sleep patterns are disrupted. You're eating way more sugar and processed foods. Stress is through the roof. And your regular schedule of exercise or even just quiet time, it's gone. Let's be honest. Who hasn't traded a balanced meal for a handful of cookies and staying up late wrapping gifts? Your body is just screaming for its normal rhythm. And all of these disruptions, especially poor sleep and high sugar, they radically reduce your physical tolerance to alcohol. The idea that holiday cocktails feel stronger because they're festive is a myth. They hit harder because your body is operating on minimal resources and maximum stress. The whole operating environment has changed. So if the night itself is tough, the next day crash, that holiday hangover, it feels exponentially worse. Why is the recovery so brutal? It's a compounding effect, pure and simple. We are just layering exhaustion on top of exhaustion. You've got less sleep, and the sleep you do get is less restorative because alcohol messes with your REM cycles. You have way more sugar in your system, high stress, less water, and crucially, you are likely doing more social masking. What's social masking? It's the huge mental effort it takes to smile, make small talk, navigate tricky conversations, and just be on. It's an exhausting cognitive load that drains your energy, and alcohol is just the final layer on an already overwhelmed system. This whole cumulative toll is why one glass of punch can make you feel like you're out until 3 in the morning. Your system just has nothing left to give for recovery. So how do we navigate this? You don't have to skip the mulled wine, but you do need to support your system better. Move from reactive recovery to proactive support. Here are 5 simple science-backed choices to help you manage the season. First, always eat something balanced before you start drinking. Never ever drink on an empty stomach when your system is already stressed. Protein and fats will slow the absorption. Second, check your emotional state first. Don't drink on pure raw nostalgia alone. If you're already feeling sensitive or stressed, adding alcohol is just going to push you over the edge. Third, hydrate rigorously. I don't mean 1 glass of water. I mean hydrate intensely before the event, during and after. It's critical. Fourth, protect your sleep at all costs. Alcohol already wrecks your sleep, so try to minimize everything else that will. Your body detoxes when you sleep. And fifth, just slow the pace. Holiday drinking culture moves really fast. Take explicit control of your own speed. You don't have to match the room. So once we master those external things, we could look inward. I mean, what does the science say about supporting the chemistry of recovery itself? There are 2 specific compounds that research shows are really critical. First, alcohol is famous for draining vitamin B1. B1 is crucial for converting glucose to energy, especially in your brain. When alcohol depletes it, your brain literally has less fuel. That directly causes that holiday brain fog and fatigue. So replenishing it is essential. Second, consider N-acetyl-L-cysteine, or NAC. NAC is a precursor to glutathione, which is your body's master antioxidant. Basically, it helps your liver handle the toxic byproducts of alcohol more efficiently. Using supports like this, it's just about recovering smarter, not just harder. So the core conclusion here is pretty profound. When alcohol and the intense emotional engine of nostalgia collide, the entire experience, physical, emotional, psychological, is exponentially amplified. It turns a casual drink into a major event for your body. And understanding this mechanism, well, that's your greatest defense. It lets you drink more consciously, support your body with intention, and avoid those confusing moments where you wonder, why did that hit me so hard? It's not a mystery anymore. It's a measurable consequence of winter chemistry, stress, and memory. So I'm going to leave you with one final thought, something to consider, since we know the specific senses trigger the most powerful emotional responses. Take a moment this holiday season to consciously identify your triggers. Is it the smell of a certain food, a particular song? Knowing precisely what sensory inputs trigger the strongest emotional memories for you. That's the first step to recognizing when your limbic system is already chemically preloaded. And that awareness, that's the key to staying grounded and in control, even in the middle of all the festive chaos. Stay conscious and enjoy the moments responsibly. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor, leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.